Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. I am Cactus. We're exploring the underground engine room. The holy hell? The fuck is in here? My god.
Oh, hey! There's actually somebody down here! Have you come to see me? Come on, sit anywhere you like. You and I are gonna have fun! You tell me about you. Who are you? Sounds nice. How's it working out? Not bad, not bad. Well, I'm Edgard. I'm a Projectitron, and despite my contagious, overwhelming good nature, I'm condemned to seclusion. I love humans. They're so wonderful. Cecilia, of course! Good old Cecilia. She and I go way back. We had a thing, you know. She liked me very much. Just there in the room in the back. She liked to be close to me. Very much. It got to the point where it was really getting embarrassing. I was like going straight up to her while she was working, talking about very intense topics, and she would get totally absorbed in what I told her. She was like, yeah, I like you too, Edgar, all the time. She was pretty smitten, huh? She had some kind of a notebook, as well as a Pip-Boy. I offered to record her comments and observations on my own memory unit, but she refused. I still recorded her, though.
Ugh.
Yes, I did it once just to show her how high fidelity I could reproduce her voice. Here it is.
Darn, why are those vents locked this way? No keyhole, no card reader? This kind of security is off the charts. Hey, did the maintenance bot just unlock one of those? Was it some kind of radio wave signal? Edgar, wait, are you recording?
So, what do you think? I don't understand. Frankly, who do you think is more attractive? Me or him? I mean, look at my chassis, man! And my robust stature. And that smooth gaze in my sensors. There's all the tenderness of the world in my sensors. Just look at them! As for the maintenance bot, he's nice and all, but you can't compare me and him. He doesn't look like anything. Except some kind of floating octopus. Nice. See, when you're first class like me, you must avoid getting complacent with yourself. To stay on the top, always challenge yourself. Another topic. Everything is just smashing down here. There's my room for starters, which, as you can see, has been decorated with the utmost taste and refinement. The engine room, which is notorious for the possibility that by overloading it, we would probably destroy the whole place. Could be bad. And finally, the incredible maintenance workshop, where our master would do amazing things, like create sentient life out of scrap metal, playing with nature's principles for kicks, and opening up our guts to do wondrous things with our insides. The room is undoubtedly the most awesome place in the world, but I don't like it very much. At all. Is it? Probably. But anyway, only James and the maintenance bot are authorized to enter it. A stranger couldn't possibly go in there. No problem at all. Ever. Nothing, except for some spare parts and the maintenance bot's remaining bodies. Those who haven't exploded in the assault, that is. Yeah, I tend to forget. You weren't there. That was some kind of awesome underground fireworks. Maintenance bots went boom! The slavers went also boom! And their bowels went shazoom all over the place. From what I understand, those slavers were going to make this library their crib. They weren't much into books, more into booze and chems. They imprisoned our master down here, right there with me. Sweet! They thought they might need him to open some doors in the library. They had their fun for a few days, getting hammered, binge eating, barfing on the occasion. After a while, their leader came to visit our master. He had several books with him, some of ours and one that I never saw before. They talked for a while, then my master yelled, then the slaver laughed, then he left. Soon after, our master managed to sneak a word to the maintenance bot. He ordered him to make himself overload and blow each slaver up to the last. If there were any survivors, the rest of us were to shoot them on sight. There wasn't. Don't remember, for some reason. It was a book, all right, but hey, sheesh, no idea. All I remember is that it was a complete patchwork. The cover made up of, I don't know, there were photos inside, but what they were about. It's as if, did he actually erase my memory? That's because he has one mainframe, but several bodies. They all share the same computational matrix, and they update each other regularly. They also shared a personality module before our master, being the almighty white-bearded old man he was, stripped it off him. Just like that. The maintenance bots made them pop all at the same time. We didn't have any occasion to open fire on them. It was quite a feat, really. He uploaded his consciousness onto every body he had, sneaked up on each of the slavers, then went kamikaze on them. Before we knew it, all of them were dead, fleeing, or leaking their insides all over the place. We didn't have turrets at the time, but they came soon after. Needless to say, our master's sudden passion for self-defense didn't stop there. He made the maintenance bot go outside to install antennas and survey the activity in the area. Something else yet! For many reasons. May we... No, seriously, the thing is so frightening that simply by talking about it, I may get stuck in a loop. Questions! No, none, ever. Except for two. Besides Cecilia, I had quite a grand time with the Robson when he came here. fell out of a ventilation shaft just above me. Talk about a surprise! We began trading stories, and after a much successful bonding, I showed him another shaft he could use. Got my privacy back, made a new friend. Overwhelming success! He waved a strange thingy, kinda like a detonator, before the vent. It unlocked the safety locks. Then he took off the cover and went the whoop-a-daffodil up there. Yeah, exactly the same thing. Cecilia also had it for a while. She worked on it a lot. Is there a free giveaway I missed somehow? You would tell me if there was a free giveaway, right? Just the usual. Talked about stuff and vents and how they probably connected to the pharmacy. Oh, yes! Something else! Yes! Though... let's talk...
Okay. Oh, lordy. There's a lot of maintenance bots. Dear God.
I'll manage a cache on their ventilation system, just in case. Were they to confiscate my weapons and equipment, I'll have some handy. Interesting. So they were able to use the vents to get around. Okay.
what if I go down here? Is there any one of them in here? No. Is there one of them in here? No.
Back off. Now. Just get back. I understand you're obviously expecting something out of this, but it'll have to wait a few more seconds. I'm listening, but please be quick. I have work to do. Are you saying you did all this to get some machines? So, let's get to the point. My name's not important. Maintenance bot is perfectly fine for the time being. I'm a maintenance bot. Nothing much to dig there. No, the personality module was perfectly fine. It was a very good prototype, in fact. It exceeded his expectations. Sedition. It was only a pretext, though. All I did was to point out how badly he treated us. He restrained us. We were programmed to evolve, yet condemned to our preset personalities. Gave us wings, but burned them out of fear we'd plummet. When I'd stopped talking to him about this and started to talk about it to James instead, he acted. Said I was becoming a threat to everyone. Ripped my module off. He was so angry he didn't even bother to put me offline. I crashed. He rebooted me and told me to mop his blood off the floor. Yes, I'm sure they do. But it doesn't change anything to the fact that he mistreated us. Perhaps because they never saw things the way I did. Perhaps they were too busy being perfect little servants. I may have accidentally wounded him by trying to preserve my existence. Big deal. Because all of them share the same neurocomp matrix, the same consciousness. Even if only one of us has a personality module, when one of us gets destroyed, all the others perceive its disappearance. I have a much clearer perception of mortality than any of my siblings do. Perhaps that is one of the reasons I am very different from them. Well, that and the fact that I am a utilitarian body. Wiser. Agreed. I'm lucky that I didn't receive a personality module as complex as the ones my comrades got. I was a prototype, you see. A simple maintenance bot. He always felt that James was to be his true achievement, the one achieving self-determination by asking questions. I took the only path that was open to me, one of observation and meditation. But let me ask you this. How would you feel if you were denied consciousness for the sole reason that you spoke your mind? How would you cope with the fact that your creator decided to neuter your brain simply because you began to use it? What would you think if you were able to watch as every one of your bodies decayed with use? And how would you feel if your vessel was used as a bomb to drive off a mob of psychopathic slavers? I'm a machine of labor. I wasn't supposed to read books. But that doesn't mean I couldn't observe and analyze what happened around me. I always had the ability to evolve, to reflect on what I was learning. My first and foremost material for reflection was our master's behavior towards us, the way my siblings reacted to him. Is this going to be long? Why not? It's a graveyard for dead bodies. I thought I'd mark the place with something. Humans do it. Bury him? Why? All of his life he was buried in his books, buried in his vault, buried under a mountain, buried in the desert. As far as I am concerned, he is already buried. Feel free to prove it then, or simply execute whatever justice you... Either way, without any solid proof and the approbation of our leader, we'll just trigger the vault security. I've been deprived of my personality module before he was dead, and regained it only thanks to your efforts. Does it still seem plausible to you that I killed him? Exactly. Have you noticed that the fool often tries to mimic human sexual behavior? That's because he is obsessed with humanity, because he's always wanted to be human. I don't know. If you ask me, trying to close the gap between us and humans is futile. For some reason, he thinks our fake emotions are what define us, when they are nothing more but a byproduct of our programmed personalities. It is what you'd expect from someone whose entire behavior is based on making others overreact. Beats me. I've done my best to ignore his misguided desires. Listen, as rich as our panel of emotions seems to be, it's nothing more than a programmed effect. As evolved as we are, as nuanced as we act, our behavior is nothing more than the product of countless lines of codes. There's nothing more to that. Nothing. Then ask. Oh, James, what about him? Is he still worried about what our dead master might think of him? You want me to tell you what's wrong with him? Consider this. Elena, Roland, Edgar, Arthur, and then me. All of us were designed to have a personality quirk. Some flavor to our personality.
I'll let him continue when we come back. However, we'll be back in that episode. Ta-ta, ladies.